Welcome back, comrades, to another video of DIY by NZguy. Today's project is a monkey bar, a hanging bar, or Turnik. I have decided to put something in the house just for that, and the decision is to put it just in front of the entry. So what I need to do is put a pipe just across here. It needs to be adjustable height, so starting from, say, waist height all the way up, so even I can use it. Obviously this is not just for me, and to embrace it I need to screw a 2x4 stud onto the wall, but I don't want to screw directly into the wall. That will F things up too much. So what I did is I bought some plywood panels. These are the pretty ones, since it's going to be a front entry door. Need to make it pretty and not the cheaper stuff. It's cost me about 55 New Zealand rubles. So the plan is to mount the panels onto the whole wall. That's why I already found out where all the studs are from the markings. Then mount the 2x4 here, nice and pink because it's pretty, onto the plywood, and that way everything should hold together nice and strong. Have holes in the plywood where the bar can stick in and be taken out as well. This is a fairly quick-handed project, but yeah, keep hitting a few snags along the way. But anyway, I already bought the plywood. I already did the preliminary designs, and I'll show you those in a sec. So the idea was to build a Turnik, a hanging bar. So the design stage is where we figure out how we do that, accomplish that. So these would be the studs on each side, and the bar going in the middle. It's going into one slot, and then it clips into the other slot. So materials, I already got the pipe. I'll let you guys, the pipe was bought from the pipe was bought from steelcuts.co.nz. I'll link a description below. I figure out I need 3 panels because I do want to cover this bit of the wall here on the corner, and then another panel goes just on that side, and the third panel goes there. So these are rough sizes. So material acquisition, I bought them from Mitre 10. The nice plywood is 55 New Zealand rubles. The rough ones were about 35 New Zealand rubles. And this is how I'm going to plan. So this is the size, cut here, cut the tops off, and just cut it in 3 sizes to make the 3 panels. So we're just having a bit of a think which panels to go for, and that's not including the paint that if I need to. So we decided to go for the more expensive ones because that will be a lot nicer. That's what we want, a nicer look and not a cheap look. Oh, and the 2x4s are about 12 New Zealand rubles. So technical drawing or design, as we think, okay, this is how the space looks, this is how we want it. That's a look from above. So one panel there, 2x4 attached to it, another big panel there, plus maybe a little bit there in a corner. So, and 2x4 there. Just some basic maths. After that we have technical design again, and that's where we take all the measurements we can find, how wide the gap between the wall, how high, everything, including the measurements of studs. We transfer all the measurements onto graph paper, and this is what we get. This is one of the main walls, and yeah, the drawing is 1 to 10. All these are studs on the side. This is where the panel, this is where the 2x4 needs to go, and this is how I'm thinking, distributing the holes. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, I need to put a little ladder to go here, so that the smaller members can climb onto it and get their hands to the pull-up bar. So I just got a bit of a task to do. Since the garage is still out of commission, I need to set up so I can cut these boards, and I might show you guys something a bit later, so stay tuned. So here's the basic setup for us to cut the plywood. First we're going to trip off the top, and both of them need to lose that top. It will be 2 meters 31 total length, so about 9 centimeters needs to go. And here I've got a straight beam, and this distance here is exactly 34 mil, which is what this blade is away from here. So the idea is to set that up, push it against this, clamp it down of course, and just go with one swoop, cut it off. But I've got to work fast because the weather is forgiving at the moment. So I'll show you guys once I've get it done. Alright, that worked kind of well. Just a side note, I'm using some masking tape to reduce the tear out. At some places it works well, others not so well. And another side note, I hate this guard getting in the way when I start cutting. It always makes me trying to jiggle that in, and that's hence I just tie it away. And the depth of cut is just 3 centimeters, just enough to cut through. It seems alright, it worked, so I better bring these in before they get wet. See you guys shortly. So the next panel, it has to be about 42 centimeters. At the moment their size is all a bit rough. So here we go, 42 blade and then 34 mil. Again, we're just clamping down a piece of wood. Luckily this can be sacrificed, so I'm just going to cut right through it and not worry about the bottom piece. And hopefully we'll get a nice straight line. Side note, I don't like to put marks on a pristine wood like that. That's why I use more masking tape for the marks. And this masking tape is to prevent chip out from when we're cutting with our saw. Okay, I'll show you how it looks like in a minute. So this is the cut, and just to mention, we didn't run into a bit of a problem. I misjudged that there's going to be a bit of flex and no flex in this, so I did push it a little bit far, hence this burn mark, but luckily it's not on this piece, or at least I can't see it, because when it burnt, the metal bit just gone under it and caused me to wear off. But light pressure and keep pushing it till the end is leaving us with a decent cut. With a little bit of sanding it'll be just fine. So here's the worst part of it, just a bit of a burn mark, but it should be alright. Alright, I'm gonna keep going, so thanks guys for sticking around. I'll see you in a little bit. Yep, we're just going to do one more cut. That's going to be probably final for today. And what I did is I started up the saw, and while it's slowing down I took out just a tiny chip just to see where the blade ends. That's a good side note. Now I know exactly I'm going to have the distance that I need, which is 32.5 on this side, and I'm using the last good edge, which came from manufacturer pre-cut. So this edge is a little bit rough, so we're gonna use the better edge on that side, and yeah, let's get it done. Yeah, just a side note, I didn't consider the cord length, so I got jammed up in that corner there while I was trying to cut the right at the end. Hence, the saw had to be restarted. Bit of a burn mark. But yeah, learn from my mistakes. Cool, see you guys soon.